Hey guys, welcome back to Total Tailgating at NTP, and we are excited to say today we're making something new. We haven't made this before. We are making a Philly cheese buffalo burger. Now, let's check out what we're going to do with this. What we're going to do is we are going to make basically a buffalo burger. We're using blue cheese and we're using some buffalo sauce, but instead of using chicken, which is what usually goes with the buffalo cheese, we're going to be using beef, and we're going to add to that a paste, I guess it's a paste sauce made from Philadelphia cheese, and we're going to throw in our blue cheese crumbles to that. Add some spices, some of our ranch spices. If you've seen our episode where we made ranch dressing, we're going to add some of those spices back, and we think this is going to be a pretty fantastic burger. So let's get grilling. Our grill is ripping hot right now. We are ready to go ahead and throw these patties. Actually, I'm going to hit these patties quickly with just a little bit of salt, 3-finger pinch, and make sure I don't cross up my hands. A little bit of pepper. And we're ready to throw these on the grill. I'm going to punch it in a little bit. Let's see if we get a little sizzle on that. Oh yeah, that sounds perfect. Let me get a sanitize on. Clean up a little bit. Okay guys, after just a few minutes, we're ready to go ahead and give these burgers a quarter turn. I've got straight grates. I want to give them, ooh, look at that flame, that looks good. Want to give them a quarter turn. We're going to get our cross-hatched grill marks on that. And now we're going to let these roll out for just a little bit. We're going to start making something that we think is going to be a nice addition to this burger, okay? It's basically what we're going to do is take 8 ounces of our cream cheese. We won't need all of that. And roughly 4 ounces. This is a 4 ounce, roughly 2 ounces. So we'll take about half of our blue cheese crumbles. That's going to add a ton of pungent flavor to this. It's going to be delicious. We've let this warm up. To that, I want to add a little bit of chive. You can add whatever spices you want, but we're trying to put this in as if you maybe threw ranch on your buffalo chicken. So I'm going to add a little bit of chive, which looks good, tastes good, and is going to add a punch of flavor to this. Again, this is something you can do to taste. We'll throw that in there. Now, our ranch seasoning in particular includes marjoram as its main ingredient. We're going to add a little bit of that. Probably I'll add about a teaspoon. We're going to have a lot of flavor from the blue cheese and a little bit, not too much. I don't want too much garlic powder. I don't want it to overpower anything, but we are going to add a touch of that. And all we got to do is mix that up. And what I'm going to try to do is keep those blue cheese crumbles whole while I'm doing it. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. I've got to incorporate all my seasonings evenly, so it is important to give this a really good stir. But at the same time, I'm using basically a rubber spatula. This is basically a cake decorating spatula probably of some kind. But it's silicone, so it's a little softer. And I'm going to try to go as easy as I can on this. Incorporate all those seasonings. I'm going to add a little of that black pepper to this as well. I just think that that's a good thing to do. We only season one side of our burger, so a little black pepper isn't going to hurt. And I think our burgers are probably at this point just about ready to turn. And I see a little bit of gray brown creeping up the sides. Let's go ahead and give these a turn, see what we got. That looks pretty good. I am liking that. We got our grill marks on there. Our burgers held together nicely. And I'm going to go back and give this a little bit more of a stir. Just to make sure it's incorporated well. And at this point, you can kind of decide. I am almost thinking I might throw in the rest of our blue cheese crumbles. And I'm going to go ahead. Not all of them, I don't think. This may end up being closer to 3/4 of the pack. Again, this is to taste. Some people don't like blue cheese at all. You could just mix this with the Philadelphia cream cheese. It's basically the same burger. You just don't have the blue cheese in it. That is looking pretty good. One thing I want to do with this, is warm it up a shade. So I'm going to turn the grill down a little bit while these are cooking through. I no longer need to worry about grill marks or anything like that because our presentation side is already done. I'm going to let that heat up a little bit while those cook through. And at the last minute, I'm going to throw that bowl right on top of my grill and let that, I don't want my blue cheese crumbles, again, to be completely melted down. But what I think I am going to do is let this thing soften up a little bit. Again, we're using cream cheese on a burger, and it's very, very soft. We're not going to throw this cheese on this burger and close the lid on it to melt it out. It's going to turn into mush. It's going to disappear, and we're going to burn it up in the grill. We're going to add this cold last, but I do want it to flow a little bit. This is supposed to be, guys, this is supposed to be a sloppy burger. Who eats buffalo chicken wings and doesn't get buffalo sauce in their beard? You have to. It's part of the experience, all right? So we're going to make this a sloppy burger. And by the way, if you come down here, you're going to see we got the cheapest, cruddiest little buns that we could find. They're going to get sloppy. We've got just some onion we're going to add to that, and then also some tomato. This is going to have a ton of flavor, though, guys. And I think I'm going to go ahead and check these burgers real quick. And they are rare right now. I would say rare. So I'm going to leave them for a little bit more. I think I like medium rare is what I'm kind of shooting for. We did temper our meat a little bit, so it probably won't take too long. While we're waiting for these burgers to cook, there's a couple things I'm excited about. One is our Patreon page, patreon.com/NTP, and we're excited because we're looking to get a Sling Studio, which will allow us to shoot different camera angles from multiple cameras. But my partner in crime, JR, who is behind the lens right now, will be able to be in Command Central and run all of those cameras at one time. So if you are interested, go to patreon.com/NTP. You can become a patron. You can actually just donate $1 a month if that's all you've got, or you can go up to any of the levels that you like there and help contribute to the cause of our Sling Studio. Another thing I'm kind of excited about that has nothing to do with the business side of NTP, guys, the draft is coming up here pretty soon, and I'm getting pretty stoked. Combine is this weekend. I hope you're stoked about it because it's going to be fun. We'll finally see some of the, I know it's the underwear Olympics, but we'll finally see what real height and real weight some of these guys are, and we'll get a chance to start seeing prospective draftees for your team. And I know it's an exciting time of year. The weather is fantastic. It's February and it's almost 80 degrees. It's hard to feel bad when the combine is coming up this weekend, when the draft is right around the corner. NFL football is a year-round sport, guys, I'm telling you, and I know you agree. All right, let's take a look at these burgers one more time. And they're bouncing back a little bit now. I think they're still a little rare. And then you can see the blood is starting to come through. I'm going to give those just a little more time. You can add to a buffalo, buffalo burger like this. Again, usually it's going to be chicken because buffalo is associated with chicken. Buffalo blue cheese chicken. It's a great, fantastic combination. However, the one thing about chicken, they usually use the wings, which are more flavorful. But we're going to find out how it pairs with beef. And so we're kind of doing a fusion between Philadelphia cheesesteak, which really it's Philadelphia cheese, but we're using beef, and then we're adding into it all of our buffalo ingredients, all right? I think we are just about ready to go on these. And this is one of those kind of cheap, quick meals you can make at your venue. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna have a lot of flavor. And this will pair well with your Bud Light, your Corona, anything like that. It's going to carry a ton of flavor on its own, though, so it also could very well be paired with a high-gravity beer. If you're a craft beer guy, this would go fantastic with a nice stout, imperial stout. I think that this burger is going to hold up to, because, again, we're not using chicken in this recipe. It's beef. That red meat is going to give you a little more flexibility if you want to go for a deeper, fuller, high-gravity beer, maybe on the darker end of the scale, maybe on the heavier end of the scale. I think this would be fantastic with what is my favorite beer, a nice Belgian, a Corsendonk, something like that, a La Trappe, something like that. All right, I think we're ready to give these a try. I gave them enough time, and I think we're just going to do it, all right? Let's pull these off. You can see these are, actually, I can see these are going to be a little too rare. I'm going to give them one more turn. Just let it sear off a little of that, which I normally wouldn't do. But it's okay, we're grilling. And I don't mind rare, so if it's rare, I'm fine. I just don't want raw is what I'm looking for, and I think we're a little soft right there. All right, we'll close it up one more time. And I'm gonna bump my heat a little, which again is what you hope you don't have to do. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and take this. Now again, we've never made this burger before. We don't even know how it's gonna taste. Usually we like to test these the day before. We didn't get a chance to do that. And I'm gonna set that up there. We're gonna let that warm up just a little bit. And while it's up there, it should get to where it flows a little bit. I'm gonna just try and make sure this happens in an even fashion. This is a good place for warming plates, in my opinion. But again, I'm trying to hold those blue cheese crumbles together, but we are trying to get this warm because warm cheese has more flavor, guys. It's just a fact. We were talking about it earlier. My grandpa used to keep his sharp cheddar cheese out of the refrigerator, and we never understood why. And at the time, when I was little, I didn't really appreciate it. I didn't like it as well. But now I know that warm cheese carries more flavor. And I think that that's probably, it's going to carry a little heat up into it. I think it's going to hold up. And I am ready. We are hungry, so we are going to eat. I think these are perfect right now. I really do. That last little flip, I think, did the trick for us. And you can see those juices at the top, but that is going to be, hopefully, mine at least. I like to see rare. And we're ready to build this burger after I turn the grill off. Okay, now, to put this burger together, all we're going to need is our patty. We thought about doing this double stack and putting the cheese in the middle and letting it run all over, but I think we're going to lay this down just a single patty, all right? You can put, obviously, whatever fresh toppings you like on it. We're adding red onion, which is always good and always goes well with anything buffalo, and I'm going to add quite a bit of it. I want a lot of onion flavor, even though we've got the chives in there, which are similar. Let's throw a nice slice of tomato on there. And on the top of all that, you know what we're going to do. We're going to add our handmade. This is our buffalo cheese sauce is basically what you're getting. A giant dollop. We're going to mash this thing down if it can balance. Yeah, we want a lot of flavor in this burger, and that is certainly going to give it to us. And lastly, of course, it wouldn't be buffalo without the buffalo sauce. And we're going to add a good splash of that as well. All right, a little extra for extra measure. I like my stuff spicy. This is a sloppy, nasty burger that's going to taste absolutely fantastic. All right, let's see what we've got. Let's mash it down like that. You can, oh, it's wanting to melt and slide. Look at that, and that is a little rarer than I like in the middle. But that's okay, stuff happens. It's gonna taste good all the same. Burger number 2. And you can see those juices, they're running clear, so we're okay on that regard. We're not okay if you're doing probably temperature FDA temps, but FDA makes horrible food as far as I'm concerned. I won't do it. All right, burger on. Burger on. Why not add to that? Whoops, this one's falling apart. Once we cut it, it doesn't want to stay up. Why don't we add to that? We think something that will be able to cut the flavors of this is a little bit of coleslaw rather than, say, a macaroni salad or a potato salad. That's got that cabbage in there that will will stand up to these big time flavors. And when we're all said and done, let's go ahead and make sure these don't go anywhere. We've got ourselves what looks like a pretty dang good burger. All right, folks. That will do it. Let's do, as always, a little dash of paprika. I think we're done, guys. I'm ready to eat this burger. Let me give it a try, all right? Let me see if I can get one. Now, I'm going to get messy. You guys know. I frequently do. This is a particularly messy burger. And the beer makes it worse. I can get the blue cheese, which is important. There's a little bit of tanginess to the Philadelphia cream cheese that you don't get from other cheeses. The tomato, the buffalo sauce, a little spice. I am liking it, and it hit just at the bottom end of rare for me. So, if I had it to do over, I'd have cooked these patties a little bit longer for safety's sake, if nothing else. This is a good burger, guys. All right, well, that's going to do it. We want to eat. We're very hungry. And again, you can pair this with any beer you want. You can eat it with sweet, or have it with sweet tea. It'd be fantastic. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Total Tailgating. Again, check out our Patreon page. Patreon.com/NTP will get you there, and you can help us out. So we thank you for your support, and we thank you for watching the show. We'll catch you next time at Total Tailgating.